to the Guide to Live. It's Wednesday, July 10th, and this is your weekly hangout to join us to talk about live streaming with people who really know what it's like.
Because let's face it, no one really knows what you're talking about if you're saying you're a live creator.
Yeah, but we do. So I'm Tara, and across from me is my co-host Ben, and together, along with our guest, we make up the Guide to Live team.
Hello, and welcome in. So it's Wednesday. We're going to be talking about what is different about live.
Yes.
And I think I want to kind of set this up, this like premise, because it's quite nuanced. But if you're a live streamer, all of it is really, really important. Understanding what's different between live versus recorded. And everyone here has basically lived through an era where most of our entertainment came through recorded form, like pre-recorded.
Yes.
But
we grew up in the era of that.
Yeah.
Like it was on TV.
Still today.
It was pre-recorded, but it was like there was a schedule that told you when it was coming on and all of that jazz. You know, like you knew it was coming on.
Yeah.
So it was being broadcast live, but it wasn't live. It was pre-recorded. Yeah.
But that wasn't always the case.
No.
If you go back in history, live, all performance, all entertainment, whether that's a conversation, entertainment, we count as juggling and singing, but also just holding court and having conversations. That's entertainment.
Yeah.
Was all done live.
Yes, it was.
And what triggered us to think about this is people may have seen like a news announcement here or an advertisement. So on Netflix, the streaming platform, old streaming pre-recorded stuff.
Yeah.
They have announced that the podcaster Joe Rogan is doing a live stand-up show.
Ah.
Live.
Like live like what we're doing right now, live.
Not pre-recorded, live.
Like live, like right now.
Yeah. And they've done it a couple of times. So this is the fourth time they've done it. They did like a roast of Tom Brady. So sporting.
I wish I missed that one. That's a shame. I would have loved to have been at that live.
There was one called Cat Williams Woke Folk. There's only been a couple.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, that is a big deal because that just shows like the mainstream is kind of catching on to what we've been talking about.
And it's almost going backwards. If you think about the evolution of entertainment or live, it was in person because you couldn't record it.
No.
And then
you didn't have the technology back then to do that.
When broadcasting very, very first started, TV was live.
Yes,
basically.
it was.
It was
in front of a live audience. It was like basically watching a live. It was a live play being being broadcast to thousands of people within an area that it could reach. Because back then, it couldn't go too far.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, the like now we have satellites, which spread it further. Yeah. But yes, that's how it evolved.
So if they're doing that, they don't have to do that. They perfected. Those platforms have perfected
why are they doing that?
Recording stuff, making it available on demand, so it's really good. Why would you then go to all of this effort? And every single person who's listening to this now who is a live streamer, whether you're doing a live stream through your iPhone or you're being a bit more complicated and you've got setups and cameras, no matter what happens, it's a lot of effort.
Yeah.
There's a lot more effort to do it in that moment. Not to mention, you've got to build up to a moment and you've got to be available for it right there and there.
Uh-huh.
So if they're doing a live Netflix special, there's a huge amount of infrastructure that has to go in to make that happen.
Yeah.
Why are they bothering? That's
Why?
what we want to get into.
Yeah. Let's talk about that.
Let's do it.
All right. Well,
why are they bothering?
Why are they? Well, could it be perhaps a lot of attention and a lot of views are on live streaming right now?
It could be that. It could be that.
There's a little shift in the zeitgeist of entertainment and consumption of entertaining media.
Yeah, and everyone's noticed, or hopefully they've noticed, like, you know, like the live symbol, the idea of like the white letters, LIVE, all caps, with the red bubble around it.
It's become synonymous with this.
Right.
Yeah.
And this show that we're talking about here, the live comedy, and I will say, just to go back, they are doing more after this. They've got several other things lined up. Netflix doing it live, but they're all sporting. So they're doing like the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight.
That makes sense to see live streaming of sports.
Doing
that
NFL
they've been
on
doing
Christmas.
that for a while.
Like live sports is very, very well understood.
But the stand-up comedy thing, that is a new, that's a new thing. And that is a hard thing to do live. I would love to see what this is like, because I want to see what the engagement is like in this.
So if so you're saying it's popular because it's we're seeing it more and more. Like, I think that there is a real benefit here because you have to be there. That's the difference, right?
That is the biggest difference.
You got to be there. So if you
or you'll miss it.
Have to be there because it's exciting, then you are slightly more invested, I think, as a viewer in that event. Same as, the effort of going to a gig or a concert, or even like any theater, whatever.
Yeah, there's an energy about it when you're there too, because you amongst the audience have created, and it's always, every time you go to a live event, it's a different experience each time. Like, it's never the same.
Yeah. Oh, that's a big part of it. Yeah. Like, anything could happen.
Anything could happen.
And it's not, I don't think people are there like hoping it's going to go wrong.
No.
But isn't there something exciting that you see? That's why people go to gigs. Like, what I've always thought that it's like, why would someone go to a live gig when you can listen to a better version of the music that someone's painstakingly recorded? Well,
because I can go straight up to the front row. That's why.
You can do that.
I can see the people's eyes.
You can touch them.
I could, if I was a psycho. Not just kidding.
But you definitely are like, the things that people talk about, in my experience of like live shows, is, they sung the song differently. Right. They talked about this. They told a funny story.
God, yeah. I mean, this goes to the Fish community. Like, if you listen to Fish and you follow Fish, the music band, it's like, if you're going to a show, people talk about, like, what are they going to encore? What do you think they're going to encore this? Like, and that, like, you try to guess. And it's like, it's always going to be different in each show. And you never know what their set list is going to be. Like, what do you think their set list is going to be? So that's just an analogy of that. Yeah. But that just shows, like, why is it exciting? Because I could listen to Fish all day. I could stream it on my like music channel. But I would rather go see
your music channel.
Yeah, I'm not
your
saying
old school music channel.
I'm not saying the thing to get. I'm saying I can stream it if I want to, but I prefer to go see them live. It's just it's an experience.
Yeah. I see Rain Days there saying connection, and I think that is absolutely right. It's like connection between humans.
I mean, that's what is,
and you can really only do that live.
Yeah, and that is what the missing part of the being able to broadcast from, like, where the roots of it started, from like around the campfire, just talking amongst, and as loud as the I mean, it used to be whenever the traveling band of the company of whatever it was, but performers came to your town, that was when you saw a show and it was live, but that was it. And now they've taken that and they've learned to broadcast it amongst more and more people. Like, the reach is like exponential. But now with this chat feature that we have, with the interaction, we have that connection again, like we used to have. So it's like come full circle, I think.
Yeah. So that's also a bit like, that's going to be different unless they present it in a way that we're not aware of, like a comedy live special doesn't have the interaction element. And I would bet people who watch that in the same way as they do with live sports will be on their apps, like chatting with people, talking about it. So the connection is there. I think platforms like that should be adding the ability to converse while it's happening live, because it's very clear that that is a big part of the live show. And it would be good
as a viewer who may not be participating in the chat. It would be nice to be able to just see what other people are chatting about, just to know, like, not everyone is a chatter, but lots of people want to know what the chatter is going on.
Quick shout out to Henry, the blue cat.
Oh, this is the kitty of Blue.
So there's also something here about what happens afterwards. And I refer to it as the water cooler moment, which may be a bit of a dated term, but ultimately it's the idea of, like, after a live event, a happening, now you can go talk about that event, like, with a group of people who attended it with you, and you get to be part of that conversation. And I think that is a really powerful bit of life that people aren't really thinking about.
Yeah, I know. I see on Reddit, people talk after the Fish show. I'm going back to that. After the Fish show, people talk about the shows that they're at, and they talk about the things that happened at the shows.
Yeah.
It's because it was a special moment. It's a water cooler thing. But even before live shows, like, this was happening, like, not too long ago, like 15 years ago, when we were watching network TV, and it was like scheduled programs. And like, after every Thursday on Friday, everyone talked about Did you see what happened with Rachel and Ross?
Yeah. So that's a combination of like the live moment combined with something happening. Essentially, those pre-recorded shows had an element of live in that it happened at a specific time.
And you couldn't go and watch them whenever you wanted to.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So if you think about it, really, the live that we're talking about now is taking some element of around the campfire. It was live, like entertainment was from the very beginning.
Yes.
It combines a lot of technology.
Yeah.
The ability for all of us to do this is insane.
That's why I feel like
people can pick up their their mobile phone and be able to stream. Like, it's amazing.
Maybe.
But the outcome is you have these water cooler moments.
Yeah.
And I would say, just as a streamer as well, like side note as a tip, Tara's pro tip.
Not Q-tip.
Not Q-tips, it's pro tips. You have the ability as the streamer to kind of drive those water cooler moments.
Yeah.
So you can do that within your Discord or within your community or anything like that. You can drive that by sharing clips of an event that you would like the conversation to be about. If there was a great thing or a great song you sung or something that you want to get across, drive those.
Oh, here's a water cooler moment. Hey guys, did you see the Totally Awesome game show last night with Kristen Kids?
Oh yeah. Yeah, talking about
this is a water cooler moment.
Yes.
Like, if you weren't there, you missed out. But if you were there, we can talk about it and chat about it and like laugh about it together.
Let's talk about it right now.
Yeah.
So there was the Frank, and he was funny.
Yeah.
A bit.
Yeah.
He was so funny.
He was really funny.
Kristen Kids was amazing.
Amazing.
Like, you really had to be there. She was an alien that didn't speak and had a unpronounceable name.
Yeah.
Which generated like a moments after moment of Frank saying things like
it was hilarious. It was great improv. Great improv. And then of course there was Ryan Bread Warlock, who was singing Kokomo and that was really, really fun.
And then there's a Care Bear, like the whole thing,
shaking the boot.
The point is, you had to be there.
Yeah, you had to be there to see what we're talking about, to know what we're talking about.
So I think all of that's really important. What is different about live, if you're not considering that as a live streamer, what is different to live versus short form and things like that, like,
there's an element that you're missing when you're performing, I think, if you're not considering that.
You're also, the differences are what makes you different from a short form creator as well. Those are your power moments. It's like, how do I generate the water cooler moments? What is important about my live stream that people are going to show up? Because to kind of round out,
I mean, that's how that is how those writers in the writing rooms, when they were writing Friends and all those other shows, like they were saying, what is it going? What scene is going to create those moments that people talk about tomorrow? And that is what, and like they thought about that before they went and made it. You know.
So if these are all the upsides on live, like why is live so special? Live entertainment so special? Live moments so special? We talk about that, really special moments in your life. Right? And the special moment that occurred, and that you are then really focused in that moment, and it's important to you. But there is a problem with live that is different to accessible streaming at any time, replays at any time.
It's not available at any time.
That is the problem.
Right.
So, that's not the problem.
Not a problem.
That's the puzzle.
That's the puzzle.
The problem is, how do you get people there? How do you tell people to get to your event? Yeah. Like, how do you tell people about the event, when it is, where it is?
Same way we've been doing it for years and years, hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Promote it.
It's a problem as old as time.
Yeah,
like, how do you get people to come to your gig you're doing, you're at the local venue? How do you get people to come to the theatre?
Yeah, think about it. Okay, so let's say the theater is putting on a production of a Shakespeare production, whatever it is. The theater itself will promote it, but that only limits to whoever walks by the theater and sees the bulletin board or the marquee. Yeah. So how else is it going to be promoted? Well, you have to have.
That is the problem.
That is, you have to like figure out. There's commercials you can run. Yep. There's billboards. Yeah. There's there's
mailing lists.
There's mailing lists. Like,
come on, there's
simple
things like
there's social media places you can create to there's things you can do, and this is something that a lot of new streamers, live streamers that have just joined or just started doing this as a full-time or part-time living, they don't quite, this is the part that they forget to do. It's like This is the business side of it. And it's like, you need to promote yourself.
Yeah.
Because no one, unless you want to hire someone to be a promoter, because some people do that. And that's like, you get press like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
T. Lee Frieda suggests balloons and signs and advertising in the newspaper. I love that.
Yeah. I mean,
hey,
this is a new industry and you can, we're inventing it as we go.
Yeah.
So if you would like to do that, that is a way of doing it.
Yeah.
It really is.
So if live is great and it's special because in the moment, the problem that everyone then has is how do you get people to come to your live event, whatever it's you've chosen. And in your case, it is a live stream multiple times a week, no doubt. And we are definitely I think we're going to dive into how you do that next time.
Yeah, next time we'll talk about it.
Because we've got to make time. We've got to make time here.
We have to have fun here too. We can't just be talking about serious stuff all the time.
Which means one thing. It's time for feature or fake.
Yes.
The internet's newest favorite game.
Feature or fake?
I'm going to give you 3 features that you can find in your live streaming app. In this case, it's going to be TikTok Live. 2 of those features are going to be real features, and one of them is going to be a fake. I made it up. And your job is to spot which one is the fake.
Okay.
So I'm going to start off here. I'm going to give you the 3 features. We will run a poll on this. Let me
real quick. I have to say, Kristen Kidd's just a banger. She says, "I'll advertise with lasers pointed at Earth to rain down my message." Did you like me doing your voice?
Yeah. We are still under threat of entire Earth destruction after last night's Totally Awesome Game Show. So watch out, everyone. Yeah. If you're not listening to this podcast because the world doesn't exist, I'm very sorry. It was great. Okay, let's do this. Feature or fake? The first feature that I'm going to tell you about is called Activity Banner.
Oh.
And it will show you what current activities are available to you while you're live streaming. So right now, an example of the type of activity is Community Fest. And the activity banner is something that you can access just before you go live, so you can check at the last second.
So this is something that you see as a streamer in your live on your screen before you go live. And it's a banner.
No, it's not a banner. It's amongst all of the. You're asking a few too many questions.
Okay,
actually.
well, I just want to know if it's real or not. I'm asking. I'm investigating. That's the game.
Okay, Tara nearly tricked me into giving more information. Don't let her do that.
I am an investigator. By the way, guys, I bet you didn't know this. I was a bounty hunter at one time in my life.
That's for another day. Tara's bounty hunter stories.
I have bounty hunter stories.
There's a great one.
Yes.
I'll weasel it out of her in a week or two's time for you all. Feature number 2, live party mode. So this is a multi-guest. And here's the thing, everybody. When we're playing feature or fake, some of these features aren't necessarily available to everybody as a streamer, but you may have seen them as a viewer. And that's thanks to the unique way TikTok A/B tests stuff.
Yes.
So it gives out some features to some people, not others.
Yeah, that's why sometimes when you're like, oh, my friends have this feature and you don't, that's why. It's not because it's broken. It's just because you weren't part of, you're part of a different test group. Yeah. That's all.
And if it's good, then they roll it out to everyone, in theory. So live party mode. This is a multi-guest role. This is a multi-guest feature.
Oh, feature, yeah.
Yeah, while the live host is able to control a filter on all of the guests' streams, so their boxes, and it makes it look like a disco. Now, it's not, you can't have it running, it's just a one-off thing and it flashes through all of the screens. But maybe in the future it will be a full-on disco. So that's number 2, feature number 2.
What's a disco? You mean a disco ball?
I mean, it's called live party mode. I'm saying disco, but perhaps I should say something more modern, like club. Okay,
that makes a lot more sense. I've never been to a disco in my entire life.
Yeah,
because I wasn't old enough to go to a disco.
Neither was I. But I have always called it discos. You guys call them
discotheques, though.
I think it's me, guys.
No. I see a lot of. I watch a lot of British shows, and you guys call them discotheques.
Drop the disco dancer in the chat, would you?
Disco balls,
Frieda. Thank you.
Disco balls and disco dancers in the chat now. This is for disco. Disco's not dead. Let's prove it.
Let's do this final feature for you to all choose from is called AI wallpaper. Use a keyword to tell the AI to generate your wallpaper. So this is also a multi-guest feature. And then
These are
guests can add keywords and co-create the wallpaper.
This is okay.
So
these are this is hard to tell which one's the fake because it seems two of them seem fake to me.
Yeah.
So I would like to know what you all think.
I've started a poll here. We got 5 minutes for the audience. You can start voting. Okay, this is close. This is very close. 12, 10, 9. Joyce, so you see the results of the poll. Actually, didn't realize that. I thought you just saw a percentage. Oh, you see a percentage.
Yes.
You didn't see who voted for
it. Yeah. Now it's not a 50-50 tie. It's changed.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, everybody.
All right. The poll is done. We have, it looks like a tie.
It is a tie.
It's a tie.
Yeah. So I want to.
So now we need to know in the chat. Let us know in the chat what you think.
Okay. So activity banner. I'm going to say this. So there is 1 vote there for the activity banner.
1 vote.
6 for AI wallpaper. 6 for live.
I think the activity banner is real. I think that's a real.
Okay. I'm coming to you, Tara.
Okay. I think that's a real one. I don't think that one's fake.
You've seen it, maybe.
Yeah. I'm going to say this. I think that disco one's fake. I don't think that's real. I believe in AI. I think the AI thing, this would be a new feature that would be like, I'm believing that they've given us a really cool feature now. So I'm going to go with that.
Okay.
Because everyone's saying it's fake. I'm going to go with that one.
Yeah.
I'm going to be contrary.
Okay. So you're throwing out activity banner. You're throwing out party mode.
Yes.
As the fake. And you are saying AI. Oh, no. You're saying AI wallpaper.
I'm saying that the fake one is the party mode. The disco is fake.
Okay. You and 6 other people think that disco mode is fake.
Let's find out. Are you guys ready to know?
Okay.
I'm so excited. It's like a 50-50 tie.
Okay, let's do it in this order. So first of all, we'll do it in order here. The activity banner is a feature.
Oh, it's a real
Congratulations,
feature.
everyone. You can go find that in the settings right before you go live. Useful little thing you can play with. Next one is the AI wallpaper. The AI wallpaper lets you use keywords to generate your wallpaper, and then guests can play with it. And that one is a feature.
Yay, team, we won! W for the team. W. Put W's in the chat.
Live party mode is a made up.
The disco's fake because the disco ain't real.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist.
You can't control other people's screens currently, but wouldn't we love that feature?
But you can control that wallpaper. And that's cool. I would somebody needs to try that. It's only multi-guest. Maybe we'll do it in the Totally Awesome Game Show.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll try it out.
Yeah. Congratulations, everyone. That means Tara gets a point.
Woo!
And I think we're also going to give the audience a point as well there, even though it's 50-50. And if I was mean, I would say you don't get a point. But
Rain says they're teasing.
Yeah,
okay.
1-1. I got a point last recording.
Yeah, the winner. So are you like the blackjack dealer that if we lose, then you win?
Yes, that's how the game works. Ooh, doopy-doo.
Doopy-doos. Yay.
It is time for
the
question of the day.
Question of the day. That's what that sound effect was.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Yeah.
So question of the day this day comes from Saul Gravy, WFK.
Better Call Saul.
From the community. And they're asking, is using Live Studio and the quality boost that it gives worth it right now?
Okay.
So there are...
Is it worth it?
Is it worth it? Yeah. So TikTok Live Studio is
that song in my head now.
Desktop app that you can use to stream while you're on a computer. So traditionally that was used a lot for gaming. We're using it right now. We're streaming through TikTok Live Studio.
We're using it right now.
Into multiple cameras, etc.
Yes. So we're able to do this.
Yeah. So there are some real upsides to it.
Yeah.
But it's also a little buggy.
There's glitches.
It's glitches. It's newer. Yeah. So the question from Saul is is that quality boost worth it?
Does it outweigh
versus the kind of downside?
Yeah. What do you think, Ben? Do you have any insight on that?
I do have a little.
Because I do too, but I always like to ask other people first before I blab my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's a great way to converse with somebody.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, what do you think?
It's almost like a conversation with a group of people. So here's what I think. Yes, things that are new are often glitchy and broken. Like I talk about this with I can remember back in the start of YouTube, and I would make videos and upload them really early on, and it would glitch all the time.
Oh yeah, I remember
it would be
that.
like uploading and it would disappear, all sorts of things. Real pain. You don't really have that now. It's very slick, but that was in the first 4, 5, even 6 years of it existing. It was really messy. So I think, first of all, in the long term, things are only going to get better.
Yes. We know that.
It's very clear.
The history.
There's a drive towards higher quality on live streaming. Even if it's just as simple as it improves the quality, so it improves the tap through rate of what you're doing. Because
that's
it looks
beneficial.
Good. Yeah.
I think that's a win.
That's a huge win.
Yeah.
So I would say, on balance, if you have the setup to do it, is worth pushing for it.
Yeah.
But definitely have a backup in place.
Yeah, because it doesn't always work completely. And sometimes they're doing updates because they're improving it and it's not working properly that day for some reason. So it's always like, just say, okay, this is something new.
Yeah.
It's they're working out all the bugs and I have to have a backup. So
having your phone or your iPad or whatever it is to just
really high res, like a high res something, just so it looks really good. Because you're going from really, really good quality visuals with the OBS or the
TikTok Live
the
Studio.
TikTok Live Studio. Excuse me, but so you want to be able to at least know, you don't want to go down in quality. I mean, you're going to go down a little bit, but try to keep it as.
Yeah. So we would say, on balance, it's worth. Here's another thing as well. Let's just assume that it continues to progress, and in the way it's progressing, that means that almost certainly, more and more streamers are going to be doing it because the quality's gone up and people are competitive.
Yes.
And the technology gets better.
I'm already seeing
it gets cheaper. All of the barriers to entry come down. So being ahead of that curve is kind of important to me.
I think that's already happening though, because if you think about it, 5 years ago, what we're doing right now would have been so much more expensive and harder to do.
Yeah.
But because of technology and the features that this app has provided, anybody can do this as long as you dedicate the time to learn how to use it.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Yeah, definitely.
And you don't need a lot expensive equipment. You really don't. There's different tiers you can get.
So
I think it is worth
push for it, because you're going to be practicing. You've got all the skills. You've kind of gone through the hard bit, and you're going to be so much better at it than everyone else who starts to jump on the bandwagon in 6 months or a year's time.
Yeah, and is it with anything over time, it improves, benchmarks rise. I'm already seeing the barrier to entry for the FYP, the bar has been raised. It's been elevated because the quality of live streaming has gone up.
Yeah. Sure.
And so, you gotta keep up.
Yeah. Enzi says, let's wrap up here with Enzi's little quote. Thanks to TikTok for this amazing app. Yeah. It's hard. We never want to be big, we don't want to fanboy on anything. But it is pretty wild that it works.
It is.
Thank you for the heart, me.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening, everybody. It's been fun. Yeah. This one.
Yeah.
I liked feature or fake.
The feature fake this week was. This episode
I like the question of the day, and if everyone can go away from this, and I think the deep thought of what is live and what are you doing while you're live, and why do people like it, and why is it different to recorded stuff, is worth going away and just kind of having a cup of tea.
Yeah, and then how do you get people to come to your lives? Think about that, because that is our next episode. We're going to really dig deep into how to promote your lives and to get the most audience.
How do you solve the age-old problem of I'm doing a thing at 10 o'clock? How do you get people to come to your party? And that is very similar to how do you get people to your live stream? Yeah. And we'll get into that next time.
I will say I'll give you 2 words: live events. That's just one way. And that's all I'm going to leave you with that to think about.
And on that bombshell, thanks for listening to The Guide to Life. We will be back on Monday.